have no opening statement other than, hello, welcome.
My God! That's my guy!
Squeeze it!
Damn it!
Incomplete.
Balls are coming out good. I suck today.
Get some what you got. What do you got? Give me some of it.
That's a beast! Beast mode!
That's been great, you know? I mean, being myself.
Love you, love you. Let's go. We're back! We're back! We're back! Bring it up!
Who's got it better than us? Nobody! Vibes are high for the Bolts. Welcome to kickoff of NFL Live. July 16th, the first training camp now officially open. Coach Harbaugh and the Chargers first on the field for camp. They're in the Hall of Fame game, preseason opener 2 weeks from tomorrow. Joe Alt, Pro Bowl left tackle of the future, it seems, for LA, and Khalil Mack leads 9-time Pro Bowl selection, 5 times on the All-Pro team. Welcome to our home field alongside Jeremy Fowler, Mike Tannenbaum. I'm Phil Murphy. Mike Reese is waiting in the shadows. Booger McFarland is a satellite connection away. Boys, 50 days from kickoff to the NFL regular season.
Easy.
And offseason's done. And with the Bolts now opening NFL training camp, preseason is officially in. I can say offseason window is done. The Chargers still in search of a first division crown since 2009. Mixed bag for Justin Herbert, 2024. Set career highs, good in wins and touchdown to interception ratio. Also had career worsts in sacks taken. And related news, pass yards per game. Also had that disaster in the wild card loss, throwing 4 picks. Chargers only called the design pass play 59% of their snaps. That's the 10th lowest rate in the league. Hat tip there to offensive coordinator Greg Roman. Jeremy, now year 2 for Herbert and Roman together. What are the expectations for this offense in 2025?
Well, they're going to double down on the running game. This is a Greg Roman offense. They're going to do what they do and run the ball. They felt they could have ran the ball better last year, but they also want to find, with Justin Herbert, ways to get the vertical outside passing game going when defenses expect them to throw it. They can't just rely on the running game and the play action. So they need rookie Trey Harris, Quentin Johnston, Mike Williams that they reacquired to get that done. They're going to rely a little bit more on Herbert with the passing game they did a year ago, and you can see him actually run the ball a little bit more, be involved in some of the play action stuff using his legs. They don't want to break him. They want to be careful with him, but you can see an uptick there.
Jeremy, the other thing they're going to do is they're going to get sacked less, and here's why. They drafted Omarion Hampton in the first round. He is an explosive running back, average over 5 yards per carry. The other thing he does is he will be involved in the passing game. Caught 73 passes at North Carolina, and what Greg Roman wants to do, Jeremy, to your point, he wants to run the ball and play action. And Booger, you know this as a former defensive lineman. What's the best way to slow down a pass rush? Run the ball right at the defense. So I think Omarion Hampton really accomplishes 2 things. It diversifies the offense, and I think the number of sacks, that 41 number, will be reduced this season for the Chargers.
And those are dividends of recent off seasons, plural, focusing on the O-line. They drafted O-line in the first round 3 times between 2021 and 24. All 3 now start, and they go out and sign Mekhi Becton in free agency. Boog, that's in addition to leading the league in scoring defense for the first time since they were in the AFL, but Joey Bosa departs for Buffalo. What are your expectations on that side of the ball?
Yeah, my expectations are still high. It's because of how Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, runs their defense. So you talked about Bosa being gone, but think about this. Last year, linebackers and DBs combined for 31.5 sacks for the Chargers, which was 4th most in the NFL. And I think when you look at that, they had 46 sacks total, so over 75% of their sacks came from the back 7. What does that mean? That means Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, does a tremendous job of scheming up offenses and allowing free guys to get to the quarterback. So I know you got Max still there up front and Bosa's gone, but I just love the schematic way that their defense deploys against offenses. You never know who's coming, and because of that, that's the reason they led the league in scoring defense last year, and I think they're going to be right up there again this year.
Jeremy, with camp open, this is kind of the baton pass from off-season to preseason, but some contract business remains unfinished. What's going on there?
Yeah, Rashawn Slater, the Chargers are prioritizing trying to extend their star left tackle. They want to get that done. Last I checked on it, I was told that we're working on it. So nothing hard and fast about this being imminent, but they're going to try to push this throughout camp, figure out something to get him locked up long term. And then Trey Harris, the 2nd-round pick, This is fascinating. 30 second-rounders have not signed their contract yet because the Houston Texans, when they gave wide receiver Jaden Higgins a fully guaranteed deal, the rest of these agents, these players in the second round said, hey, we want that. So we're going to wait this out. Now with camps approaching, teams starting to report more and more, you should see some urgency and these sides to try to find a middle ground. But for now, Trey Harris and others unsigned.
Well, reason for confidence, contract business notwithstanding, Justin Herbert owns the NFL record for most passing yards by any player through his first 5 seasons in the NFL. Back here on NFL Live, tons of year-over-year change in Foxborough, starting with the new head coach, Mike Vrabel, 3 Super Bowl rings as a Patriots player and 3 playoff appearances in 6 seasons as Titans head coach. From a personnel standpoint, big investments in the O-line. They used the 4th overall pick on tackle Will Campbell while signing veteran tackle Morgan Moses and center Garrett Bradbury. Biggest pickup, though, Stephon Diggs, a 3-year deal on the heels of Diggs tearing his ACL last October, and a role as a professor for Diggs for 3rd-round pick Kyle Williams.
Good on good. I got to really win.
Yeah, it's a different
I got to bring out the toolbox.
Different world for him. Hey, God, I'm glad you out here. Take it off. Take it off.
I want him to have my whole little toolbox because I got 2. I got Algebra 1, Algebra 2.
You know, I failed algebra.
But I can skip you the pre-cal immediately.
Yeah, I need the pre-cal.
I got you with that.
Professor Mike Tannenbaum has been a lecturer at Columbia, but Mike Reese has doctorate-level knowledge of the Patriots. That's why we're going 5 wide here on the NFL Live set.
Wow.
Mike Reese, the additions around Drake May, they've been a hot topic this offseason. How have Diggs and other receivers looked so far?
Well, let's start with Stephon. He actually wasn't around that much this spring, but when he was, what stood out to me was he was first in the receiver line. I felt like they gave him that respect. And so I would say for Stephon, one thing, not fully healthy right now. And so he was first in line. He didn't participate in full team drills, so got to keep an eye on that coming back. But I would also say he looked different, Jeremy. You know, I used the Randy Moss test. When I first saw Randy Moss, I said, that guy runs different. Stephon was looking different from the other Patriots.
Yeah, they need it, Mike. A lot of intrigue league-wide about Kyle Williams. Do they finally get a guy in the draft they can rely on as a bona fide potential star at least? One word from a team source about Williams, committed. He's intentional in everything he does. He's really impressed them with his professionalism. It's been what, since the Julian Edelman era that they had a 1,000-yard receiver? I'm guessing if they can get one this year, it's either Diggs or Williams.
Yeah, Jerry, I like Kyle Williams coming out. I was just concerned about his 29 drops. His hands were somewhat inconsistent, really good play speed. So, again, very bullish on some of the things that you alluded to, Mike, in the offseason. Drake May's improvement, what the culture is with Mike Vrabel. But big question is, in terms of their weapons, like Stephon Diggs coming off of an ACL, still not full speed. We'll see how good Kyle Williams is. Kendrick Bourne, they have some other, to me, complementary pieces. But Drake May, to get to where he wants to go, they're going to need a full set of weapons.
And Jeremy, you mentioned that 1,000-yard receiver potential. Diggs was on pace for that when he tore his ACL in October. But Mike Reese, New England, #1 in free agency spend this offseason. For the last nearly a decade, that's meant a +3 win increase year-over-year minimum. That's still a lot of roster turnover. What can you tell us about the culture that Mike Vrabel's building now in Foxborough?
Well, it's a great point on the roster turnover. I mean, they got 90 players on the roster right now. 47 of them were on the team last year. Think about that turnover right there. And the one word that players kept telling me this offseason when I talked about what was happening there in Foxborough was connectivity. That was the word Mike Vrabel talked to them about. Connect with each other. Get to know each other. And I'll say one other thing. There's a sign in the facility. Effort and finish. That's what Vrabel wants out of the culture. So you don't see him just running to the line. They're running through the line when you're watching practice.
Mike, I'm going to say this even if you won't. First of all, y'all doing my guy Mike Reese wrong. Y'all look 7 feet tall. Mike Reese looks like he's 4'3". Get Mike a box to stand on. Why are y'all doing Mike this way? Are you kidding me?
I know, Book. They put me on the end of the line.
They didn't put him next to Fowler. I look short next to Fowler.
I mean, Jesus, Mike, come on, stick up for yourself, Mike. Ask for a box, man.
That's it.
As far as the Patriots are concerned, I think the Patriots have an opportunity to be one of the more improved teams in football. And this has nothing to do with personnel. When you go back to when Mike Vrabel was in Tennessee, they were fundamentally sound. They were pushing the edges from a rule standpoint. They were cutting edge when it came to how physical they played. I think he's going to bring all that to the New England Patriots. Now, they don't have A-plus talent at every position, but I think Stephon Diggs, if he's healthy, he's got an opportunity to be a good number 2. Drake May is an ascending number 1 at the quarterback position. The offensive line has got to be better because they were terrible last year. And he's got some of his guys like Harold Landry. You go out and make the big money addition of Milton Williams. And so I think, as Mike Reese talked about, the culture is going to be better. How hard they play, how physical they are, and I think they'll be more fundamentally sound. Now, if we can just get Mike Reese a box, this whole segment will wrap up nice and perfectly.
Boog, my guy Reese is a 7-footer in the reporting world. But hey, I'm going to call this out. I can see this now in Gillette Stadium somewhere. AFC East champions.
This year?
I'm just saying it's gettable. There's a path to it. Is Buffalo the heavy favorite? Absolutely. Are they the best team?
I ain't going to quite go that far, Jeremy.
Well, I'm going to take it at least close to there because Miami, transition. New York Jets in transition. You look at the Patriots depth chart, it is not bad. Like, there is some talent there. They got to get the 1,000-yard receiver. They got to get Drake May going. But if they drafted him and people believe what he is, and a lot of people in that draft 2 years ago believed he was a top-end type guy, they could be right there.
And here's the thing that I always say, guy, when you go from year 1 to year 2, I made my biggest improvement in the National Football League going from my rookie year to my second year because everything slowed down. Now, that doesn't mean you don't get better in years after, but we're talking about the biggest jump as far as how you can see and how the fans see. If Drake May can make that jump, I see what you're talking about, Jeremy Fowler, but they got a lot of other holes on this football team. But I do know they will be one of the more fundamentally sound coach teams. And when it comes to coaching, that's all you want. You want your coaches to put you in the right position to give you an edge. I didn't feel like New England was always that way last year. I guarantee you they'll be that way this season.
And, Bill, I'd just say look at the start of the schedule. They got 3 of their first 4 at home, so a chance to get off to a quick start with Mike Vrabel.
Hey, Mike Reese, do you know what the question about Anthony McFarland's scouting report was?
He was an undersized defensive tackle. He could really penetrate, but an undersized defensive tackle, different than an undersized
That's right. There you go.
You know?
Bang!
Hey, we got more to come on NFL Live.
I was undersized. There's nothing wrong with being undersized. But at least when I was undersized, I was 6 feet tall. Y'all got Mike Reese looking like he needs to be on like a cartoon or somewhere. Come on, man.
Lafayette, Louisiana's own, the Diamond, with the Saints today with Cam Jordan, who, I mean, maybe he could cut to the heavyweight limit of 265. A local hero is Poirier throughout New Orleans. The arena is going to be buzzing this weekend in a fight that promises fireworks. That main event, again, ESPNplus.com/PPV. Jeremy's offseason positional rankings has hit wide receivers. Spoke with execs, coaches, and scouts league-wide. Here's where they landed. You got reigning Triple Crown winner Jamar Chase at the top. Fellow Bayou Bengal, Justin Jefferson, they're 1-2. Then it's Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown. Top 5, Nico Collins jumped up. He was outside the top 10 last year, an honorable mention on that list. And terrific season. The clockwork that is Mike Evans, and Garrett Wilson just got paid. He's down at number 10 on your list, Jeremy. You talked to all these different guys, but Boog, when you look at this top 5, what stands out to you?
A couple things. Number 1, Tyreek Hill. Based on his production, it might be a little high for him. And then Malik Neighbors. I mean, just coming off a rookie season, Malik Neighbors already a top 10 receiver in the National Football League. That's number 2. And then the third thing, guys, y'all gonna love this: 3 LSU Tigers in the top 10.
I knew it.
I think that solidifies LSU being wide receiver U.
I knew that was coming, Jeremy.
No question about it. Yeah, you got the LSU factory here. Malik Neighbors, by the way, will be higher next year. He's that good. He's like a Ferrari and a pickup truck mixed in one. Tyreek Hill, though, is still 3 because the people I talked to around the league say he changes the math on the field because of that raw speed. You need 2 bodies, 3 bodies on him at all times, even though defenses started to figure out Miami's offense a little bit last year with all the eye candy and the motions and shifts. He outdistanced CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown because neither of those players had massive seasons last year. That's not really A.J. Brown's fault. He's in a run-heavy offense, but they didn't do enough to supplant Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, for me, guys, Garrett Wilson down here at number 10, he's way too low. He's only one of 10 receivers in the history of the game to start their career with 1,000 yards in each of their first 3 seasons, despite having moribund quarterback play. He's been reunited with Justin Fields. Expect him to have a fantastic season. I think he's top 5 going into next year.
Yeah, Mike, what's fascinating, the people I talked to around the league said he's probably the best separator in the entire NFL. Problem was they feel like he's a freelancer, lacks detail a little bit. That's why he didn't hit off with Aaron Rodgers, who loves detail. But with a new offense, Justin Fields, they have chemistry together. He should be on the uptick and finally get things going and have that breakout massive season.
And he's a guy who's had more receptions every year he's been in the league with less than ideal quarterback play. Boog, I know you're not done singing the praises of your LSU Tigers.
Here's a question for the two guys. Other than Mike Evans, how many of those guys are going to be a Hall of Famer, Mike T?
Boy, that's a really good question. I think A.J. Brown's going to have a chance. He'll be in the conversation, and maybe CeeDee Lamb.
These two, Chase Jefferson, they're going to be going at it for the next decade. I got both in. It's early.
Is this just an LSU?
Oh, we're taking those guys out. Good point. Good point.
Hey, we got time for one more thing before we say farewell today on NFL Live. Chargers, first team to open camp. They did it today. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, arriving on a bike. This guy's a character. The social media team loves him. Hey, that's how you beat Southern California traffic. 2 wheels, not 4. Boog, you going bipedal on your camp arrival?
No, bike is too much work. I'm a big guy. He can afford to ride a bike as a kicker because he ain't going to do a damn thing for the next 6 weeks, but kick a football. I actually got to work.
Come on, Phil. Boog, he's going in a golf cart. What are we talking about here?
Hey, it's been a great day here on NFL Live. Camp's now open. We'll be leading you to and through it all. And again, we're standing up because Boog scared off poor Mike Reese. Hurried us over to the chair. Now we're back. And he's got the big guys.
Mike looking like he was
getting a little quieter. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us here on NFL Live. For Mike Tannenbaum, Mike Reese, Jeremy Fowler, and Booger McFarland, I'm Phil Murphy. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.